What's good, everyone? I got another Wi-Fi battle. This time it's against Dark, who goes by Omega Latios as well. And as you can tell from his team, it is very, very, very pressuring to see his team. He has a Greninja, a Tapu Koko, Gliscor, which is always a pain because, like, looking at my team, I have like almost nothing to get rid of it. I have two things, but I have if those things fall, that's it. I have nothing to get rid of it. His Tyranitar, which has an item that I didn't think I was going to have throughout the whole match when I was battling, but it's a choice band, so you already know that's going to be like a huge pressure as well. His Mega Charizard X, which I pretty sure I can handle pretty well, and his Ferrothorn, which is really nice because it goes against my team because this is a Trick Room team as well as a pretty fast, semi-fast team. But yeah, great battle between him. He's a great battler. You know, you gotta look out for him. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna get into it. And I will say, this match could have gone either way, which is really interesting because he has so much stuff that I have to be wary about, like his Tyranitar, the Greninja, and but the main thing that I worried about the most was his Gliscor. So that was always in the back of my mind in trying to get rid of it as quickly as possible. So here we both lead off. He leads off with his Greninja, and I lead off with my Tapu Koko because I know that if I get a bad switch, I mean a bad matchup, I'm always able to switch out. Except if he predicts it and goes into his Gliscor, which he should have kind of honestly predicted here. That would have been a safer play. But so yeah, he predicts the electric move and he goes into his Ferrothorn, and it takes it really well even in terrain, but it still does a good chunk either way. And here I go for Shadow Bone because predicting anything that comes in will take a really good chunk of damage. Even if it's Tyranitar, it'll take a good sizable chunk. Even if it's what's it called, Gliscor, it'll take a good chunk. But he goes into his Charizard, which goes in Mega Evolves right now, next turn into Charizard X. And I'm able to predict his follow-up Earthquake and go into my Landorus, which is a great play because I'm able to get the -1 on him, and I really don't have a lot to counter Charizard X even at low health. It could have Dragon Danced up too, predicting a switch too if it wanted it, but he goes for the safe Flare Blitz, and he's still able to do half damage, basically to half HP, you know, to my Landorus, and that sucks because it really puts it on a clock. So I'm obviously not gonna stay in on Greninja, so I'm gonna switch out. But he predicts that switch, and he goes into his Gliscor, which sucks. But the faster that I'm able to see this to get it out of the way, the better. So here I go into my Muck, and I know that I can live pretty much any hit off his team that he has, except for a. I'm pretty sure I can't live a banded Earthquake from Tyranitar. You know, don't quote me on it, but I don't think so. But yeah, this is a Pokemon that I truly despise. It's a really great Pokemon. It's a great wall. Like, Tapatron uses it a lot. So that's like why I see it a lot. As well as other people that I've battled before in the past, they use it a lot and they know that it's like a Pokemon that I really, really hate. But it's a really great Pokemon, but I hate it because it's kind of tough to get past. And luckily for me, this Gliscor is not the Substitute Protect variant, which I have the most trouble with. But it's still a Gliscor, and it still has Toxic Heal, which heals it up a lot, a good sizable chunk every turn. And here I predict him just staying in, and I go for the knockoff, but he switches out. I guess he thought I would have Hidden Power Ice or something on Landorus, but I don't. And I believe this is my Landorus that I recently caught too, because later on I see that he outspeeds me. And I know that he's going to want to use Hidden Power here because it's a Shiny Coco, and pretty much every Shiny Coco, as a given, has Hidden Power Ice because it was soft reset it, you know, for Hidden Power Ice. So always do take note that if you see Tapu Koko and it's Shiny, just make sure it's going to have make sure to know that it will have a Hidden Power Ice for coverage. So here I'm able to get the lucky defense drop, And if I wanted to, I don't think it could KO me. I don't, even if it's stab, maybe I could live it because it's a pretty bulky Pokemon on Marowak. But I didn't want to take the risk, obviously. So I go for the safe play of predicting his Earthquake. And I go into my Landorus to, one, further decrease his attack, and two, nerf the hit. But as you can see, Toxic is racking up, which is great too because like normally it isn't great to be in the position of getting knocked out by Toxic, but I also wanted to get as much damage as I could on Gliscor to the point where I could switch in anything and pretty much KO it with an ice move. Either that or like try to bait him in to stay long enough where like since he has -1 he really can't do much to anything that I have. So I can take a hit, you know, like, but either way here I think we both double switch. I switch into yeah, he switches into his Tyranitar and I switched into Tapu Koko. I guess he predicted me to switch because I wanted to keep Landorus again for the -1 anytime I wanted it. So that's a great play on his part if he if he had gotten the better type matchup. But he goes for his Tyranitar, and here I just go for the straight Volt Switch because I know that it'll do good damage even in the sand, and the plus basically +1 to special defense and to Landorus. I mean to because I read the name Landorus. To Tyranitar, it'll still do a good chunk of damage. And yeah, I obviously predict him to want to stay in and Earthquake because I know he's going to want to live the hit. And he's going to want to revenge me with Earthquake. But luckily, you know, I'm just doing the flip around where I just switch around. And I'm able to get the -1 and then I can switch out again. And I go into my Mimikyu. And this was pretty great. This is where I started to go into more offense to try to get rid of Gliscor because this is the only thing holding me back. The Gliscor. So he Toxics me, but like I said, I want to be Toxic because the faster I'm able to do some damage onto it and then intimidate it, I'm able to like get in a Pokemon where I can try to get in a Pokemon for free. That was my whole point. So here I go for Woodhammer to further like faster get KOs because I just wanted to send in Muck because once I'm able to get the -1 onto Gliscor and I can live 2 Earthquakes, 3 Earthquakes pretty much because of Figgy Berry. And yeah, this Gliscor is max defense, max HP, max defense, so it's even more disgusting having to fight it because of its insane bulk. Yeah, and throughout this whole match, we didn't even really make use of the electric terrain. It just pretty much just stayed to one Pokemon, which was Koko. So it really doesn't matter about terrain that much. Although I will say, previously in another turn, I was able to knock off the magnet off of the Tapu Koko, which later on proves to be very important because he's not able to rack up the necessary amount of damage later on, and you will see. But so here he already has a -1. I know I can live a hit. I'm under Trick Room, so I go straight for the Ice Punch because he thought I had it, but he didn't know I had it. So I go straight for it. It's gonna be a 2-hit KO. That thing's max defense, so you know it's able to live a ×4 effective move, and it's on the physical side, so it's gonna want to live it. And here he predicts me to go into another Ice Punch, but I kind of was expecting him to either switch or for knockoff to KO. But it was a great play on my part because I'm able to knock off the item, which is the Rocky Helmet, off of the Ferrothorn. But in the long run, it didn't matter. But I'm able to see what item it had, and I also am able to activate my Berry, which is nice. So he just goes for the safe play of Leech Seed, which isn't a bad move because like he could Leech Seed, protect, you know, gain HP and all that stuff. But either way, I put so much pressure with Marowak. Even without Trick Room, Marowak is so insanely powerful. Because if you get the right matchups, say against Coco, against Ferrothorn right now, you will pretty much have like a free KO next turn. Either that or you force a 2-hit KO because that's how much damage this thing puts out. So since he switches out into his Gliscor, I'm able to get rid of it with a Flare Blitz, which is nice. Even if Tyranitar had come in, I would have still done a huge chunk of damage to it. Wouldn't have probably KO'd, but I would have done a huge chunk of damage to it. And so after this move, he told me that he was choice banded because I go after this. I believe I go into my Stakataka, yeah. And he's like, "Crap, I don't have anything for this." But I'm like, "Wait, the match isn't over yet." You know, it's like that type of match where it can just flip instantly. Because I was saying like, "Nah, you have Earthquake. You can bait me or something." You know, he's baiting me, but I didn't want to fall for it either. So I was thinking, okay, if he's choice banded, he's gonna have to switch out. I'm gonna have to Trick Room, and hopefully I'm able to get rid of his what's it called? His Ferrothorn in time with Trick Room. The thing is though that my Stakataka has 31 in speed and IDs, so I'm actually faster than his Ferrothorn. So I go last, which sucks. So I have to get rid of this Ferrothorn pretty quick. And the only way to do it right now at this moment is because I locked my team into the battle box because I'm kind of soft resetting for another shiny at the moment of recording this. So I wasn't able to get the other move that I normally have on it because right now it's like in a double set move set. So yeah, I only have Stone Edge and the Z move, and that's a 3-hit KO, which sucks because I'm even further lowered, and that's one turn of getting rid of a Pokemon. But luckily, Stakataka is so bulky that I'm able to still live 3 power whips. And the thing is, my Stakataka is lonely nature. That means minus defense. So I'm able to get the attack boost. This is the way I caught it, guys. Like, if you look at my video, you'll see this is how I caught it. So I'm able to get the +1 in attack. He goes into his Greninja. I wanted to Gyro Ball, but I honestly didn't want to take the risk of not being able to KO it. So I go for the Stone Edge, and none of my Stone Edges miss, which is nice. But after this, the Trick Room ends, so that sucks. So now I'm back to being the slowest thing. And it's good though, because I'm able, at this point, it's a 2-hit KO on Tyranitar, and I have enough stuff that where I'm able to outspeed and sack at the same time. So he's able to get rid of my Stakataka, but I'm not fretting at this point because it gets a crit, which totally mattered, you know? That thing's so bulky. I know I could have lived in an Earthquake. Now just playing before y'all start ranting. But yeah, so he's able to get rid of my Stakataka, which is nice. I'm able to go into my Tapu Koko, and I can just Volt Switch here, sack my Mimikyu, then go back into Tapu Koko because I'll be faster. And I'll knock out the Tyranitar while also switching into my Muck so I can KO his Tapu Koko, which was a pretty good strategy and pretty much the only strategy I could have done because what's it called? Tyranitar is so freaking strong. So yeah, here I just have to pretty much go for the Volt Switch, go into Muck, and my only options with Muck was either to Ice Punch and Shadow Sneak and hope that KOs, or go straight for the Gunk Shot and KO it, but miss as well. And recently, my battles, or like the ones that I've uploaded recently, I've been missing a lot, which sucks, right? But I was like, you know what? If it's gonna change now, I needed to change now. I need to not miss the hit. And oh yeah, so also like prior note to what happened earlier, since I knocked off the magnet off of the Tapu Koko, I'm able to live the Thunderbolt. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I would have gone KO'd, and I'm able to get the Gunk Shot off. So you know, that was a great game to Dark. Really, really, really close game. Had he knocked out Muck, it would have been like a draw or something. But yeah, great game to him, man. Like, awesome battler. Click like, subscribe if you like the video. You know, stay tuned for more. And, peace out. Appreciate it.